Hello everyone, welcome back to another daily price action update. I am your host Jutsuko Toshiro. Before we dive in, please, if you haven't already, follow me on Twitter. Here is my Twitter tag, it's Jutsuko Toshiro. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel, like this video if you like this content, and let's go ahead and dive into the price. Before we get started, I want to point out one thing. Here is a clip where I pointed to this massive move to the upside. Expect actually for us to go too high from here. If we do come higher than these levels that I'm pointing out, then we will come up to this 23-ish area. Will we pass that level? Most likely we won't. Okay, so now that we're here at Crossroads, I want to point out we are at a key area of resistance. This area of resistance will determine where we are headed. Now, here are a few speculation thoughts that I have I want to share with you guys. Number one, if you want to enter a short here, this is actually an ideal area to short. The one thing that I want to let you guys know is the market psychology is one hard thing to beat. So if I was to short anything, it would have to be against the market. So what do I mean by that? Now everyone's sentiment is the bottom is in. This is the daily time frame. You can see that we had some minor consolidation at 15,000. It's a nice round number for people to think that we have made it to the bottom. One thing I want to point out though is what will be the level that everyone thinks that we are for sure in a massive bull run again. I believe it's going to be after we break this $21,000 level and we head up higher. Now, one key area of resistance is this downwards resistance that's been pretty much pounding us from 60K, and we haven't really touched it since about now. We're about to go and retest these highs. Now, do I think we will hold? Yes, but there are a few scenarios where this price action can actually get you wicked out in a short. So what do I mean by that? Number one is we're at crossroads here with this $21,000 mark. I do think we might actually head up a little bit higher. The reason being is because everyone thinks bull market's still intact. Now, I think after that, we are going to retest this trend line. This trend line is going to be the key area of resistance. So as we move forward, keep your eyes on it. We might even come up above, hit that $24,000 mark, and then come down lower. So we had a massive move to the upside. If you have caught it, congratulations. What I would do now is actually seal my profits and get ready for the move down. The reason why I'm so adamant on the move down is because these bear market rallies are very common. Let me point out one that's happened in the past. And if you want a more detailed explanation, please check out my weekly outlook video that I will be uploading tomorrow. So take a look here. We do have some rallies. They do massive amounts of returns. This one was a 300% return, but we did see some lows again. Now, that was the clear bottom in 2018. We haven't really had a daily consolidation where it's nice and it has a rounding bottom. This is sort of that, but you do need a move to the downside that is a little bit bigger than this FTX move. And if people's main argument is that the bear market, we've been hammered. So people's main argument is the bear market is over because we've had low prices for such a long time, but that is not a good reason. You need a macroeconomic sentiment to actually be in conjunction with the price action. And right now, interest rates are still high, so I would actually be wary of this pump. So we are at a key area of resistance. Where you enter matters, so make sure that if you do want to short, you either catch this wick above or you short this resistance, or even if you enter here, you have a stop loss high enough to endure a wick to the upside. All right, let's move on to Ethereum. As you can see here, Ethereum blew past this $1,500 mark. I marked this in a previous video, so there are a few areas that I pointed out in a video. I said that we were range bound in Ethereum and that this range is a good area to play. Now that this range has been torched through, we can actually move this resistance up a bit higher, and Ethereum is in a new type of range trade. Now, the good news is for these bears is that we have a lower high on Ethereum. These lower highs tend to actually continue the trend to the downside, and as you can see here in previous price action history, we do have lower highs here, and we do get the follow through of a move to the downside. So you got to be patient with these. I did mark this area at 1500 for a good area to short. We blew past it, kind of almost hit 1600, and then we actually retraced. So what would I do in this scenario? I would wait for this retest of this support, and if this support holds, then we might actually come up and retest these highs again. But if not, this is actually, so if we break down below and retest and it cannot break past this $1,500 mark, that is a good area to short. That is where you enter your short and you take this sucker all the way down at least to 1250. Let's take a look at Binance BNB. This is one that I've had my eyes on. I did warn everyone that once we blew past this resistance here at the $250 mark, the next upside target is anywhere between $300 and this downward sloping trend line. And I advised everyone to draw it on their own charts because the charts vary amongst the exchange you use. Now let's take a look. I remember, if you guys recall clearly, I said that my short here in BNB, don't count it as a true short of a move or a trade that is logical. And I said that, you know, every trade should have a stop loss. So if you were stopped out, at least you only lost a small percentage of your capital and you could re-enter and trade again. Now let's take a look at BNB. We have this move to the upside. Now we're hitting key resistance. I do think that we might actually get one more push up above and probably get that final push to that $355 mark. If you guys want to enter a short, I always like to trade with very low leverage. And the reason being is because if I do get wicked above, like look at this wick right here, this can get you stopped out. So I like to actually trade with super low leverage, maybe a 3 to 2x. And that way I could withstand key areas of resistance. And if the price action does move here, my stop loss would be somewhere up here at the $400 mark. So that's why I do low leverage trades, because I like to win. And the more you win, the more money you make, as opposed to, you know, these high risk 50x trades and then you get stopped out because the price action moved 20 points. So BNB actually had a really nice move from the bottom, all this FUD craze talk, and then finally it hit a 40% move to the upside. But I do believe that we are in a bear market, and these bear market pumps will end with dumps. So we have a descending triangle on the massive look of things. We're just walking through it. And I think that we could just rally like this for a while up until BNB finally decides to move to the downside. Catching the downside move is the hard part. And I think that if you want to catch such a big move, especially all the way down to $40, the way you do it is actually you swing this. So you wait for that key resistance here, or you enter here, but you have a stop loss somewhere up here, where you can basically, once this descending triangle is invalidated, that's when you get out of the trade. If your stop loss is anywhere in between that, basically in this area, then you are likely going to get stopped out. So if you're going to trade this, what I advise is you do a 1.5x to 2x and you let this sucker ride out. The reason why is because look at this move to the downside. It pays so big. It's almost a double, 100% move. Doubling your money nowadays in the bear market is something grand. Let's take a look at Solana. I mentioned that the $15 mark is a key area of resistance, and we consolidated there for a bit, and then we just blew past it. Apologies. I thought this would be a good area of resistance. Unfortunately not. And then I mentioned that our next target is basically these lows and $30 mark. So congrats to the bulls on this. I thought we were going to get hammered down, but obviously we did not. Now our next target is somewhere in this range. You can see here, actually, these lows ended up becoming resistance. Solana might pump a bit more, but honestly, I still see this $6 mark on Solana. Let me actually open up an older chart. I do see Solana actually coming down to the $3 to $4 mark. Don't get your hopes up too high. If you are in the long, congratulations. Remember that a lot of these macro moves, they need to be retraced and retested. So don't be surprised if we come all the way up to $30 again, just to retest this trend line and then come down. So we had a very, very massive move to the upside when it comes to stocks and crypto. And as you can see here, these moves are amazing. The one thing that I will say is that the bear market is still in full effect, and the reason why is because these interest rates aren't going anywhere. people are less likely to, borrow money and put them back into stocks or crypto. And so I would just be wary on these pumps. These pumps are nice when they happen. They are bear market rallies. Unfortunately, though, they're not here to last. They're not going to give you all-time highs. So I am actually just sitting in stables right now looking for the perfect setup, and I just like to trade a few tokens and try to maximize my profits there. Let's look at the DXY, and it's basically getting torched, and that is okay. These things take time to play out. I did have a falling wedge move, and let me tell you guys something. So this is actually a good learning point. Let me point out something here that's occurred with the falling wedge. So we had this structure invalidated, and the reason why it was invalidated is because it broke out, retested, then it failed that retest. And one thing to take note of is basically when a move fails to the upside or downside, you get a faster move in the opposite direction. So that is exactly what happened with DXY. Now we're sitting at this key support, and we might just have like a rounding formation, kind of like how we had here, and then we'll maybe rally up to this upside. I do see us coming back to these highs. The RSI and other indicators say that the DXY is oversold, so just give us some time. We are pumping right now in the entire market, and that is an excellent opportunity to either short or look for a pullback to long. It basically depends on your opinion. So best of luck trading. I wish you guys the best of luck. If you guys want to see another weekly video where I predict the weekly price of Bitcoin, please tune into my next video tomorrow. If you like this content, please like this video. Let's get that algorithm up. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and if you haven't already, follow me on Twitter, where I can give you guys the most live action updates, where I tweet my opinion on the moves as they happen. So thank you so much for tuning in. Have a good one. Good luck trading. Best of luck.